All right, folks, something's off. Real off. You've probably seen the clips, the apartment block takeover in Chicago, the feds showing up like they're storming Fallujah, ICE in Portland acting like it's the purge out there. But if you look closer, it's mostly them. They're the ones cranking the chaos dial up to 11. You got federal agents in unmarked vans, drones overhead, tear gas flying, all to chase a handful of kids with banners and a sound system. And the part that really smells like last week's acorns? The way they're trying to manufacture the violence, baiting people, escalating, creating the optics of an uprising. Because if they can make it look bad enough, they can dust off one of the oldest authoritarian cheat codes in the book, the Insurrection Act. They've been floating trial balloons for months. National Guard to Chicago, send in the troops to Portland. Every time there's a protest, they scream emergency like it's a Broadway revival. But these aren't emergencies, they're excuses. Dress rehearsals for a federal power grab. And here's the kicker. If you don't understand what the Insurrection Act is and how it can be abused, you might not even notice when they pull the trigger. So today, we're gonna break it down, what it is, how it works, and what it means when a wannabe strongman starts whispering about using it. Because once they declare you the insurrection, it's already too late. Hell, it's probably already too late, but let's talk about it anyway. What else are we gonna do, right? Something's off in Chicago. They're calling it a security operation, but it looks a lot more like a test run. And if you squint, you can see it, not a neighborhood under siege, a narrative being built. Meanwhile, over in Portland, ICE is out here trying to convince America that the city's one Molotov away from collapse. Only problem? Most of the flames are coming from them. Breaking. Peaceful protest becomes riot after law enforcement sets it on fire. Back to you, Carl. You see the playbook? Manufacture tension, escalate, then claim you're the only one who can restore order. That's not policing, that's provocation. Right on cue. They keep calling everything an emergency except the emergencies they cause. Because if they can paint the picture of a nation on fire, they can roll out the big guns, literally. And that's what this all leads to, the Insurrection Act, the legal key to put troops in your streets under the guise of keeping the peace. If you don't know what it is and how fast it can be twisted, you won't see it coming. Once they call you the insurrection, it's already too late. And that's been the plan since before he came into office. Believe it, this is not a reaction to anything. This is a plan that has been enacted. All right, civics class, grab your nuts. The Insurrection Act is a dusty old law from 1807 that lets the president send the United States military into American cities, not overseas, not in war, right here at home. It was written for real insurrections. It was not meant to be used to fight imaginary enemies like Antifa, which has 0 members and no mailing address, for example. And if you're thinking, wow, Munk, that sounds like a last resort, congratulations, you're smarter than half of Congress. The law was supposed to be used in 3 narrow cases. Number 1, a state governor asks for help. Number 2, the federal government can't enforce its own laws. Number 3, civil rights violations so bad that the feds have to step in. But here's the twist. None of those terms are clearly defined. The Insurrection Act's been used sparingly. Civil War, Reconstruction, Little Rock, the 92 LA riots. Every time it was justified by real chaos. But here's what's changed. Now we've got leaders who manufacture the chaos, then point at it as proof they need more power. They don't want peace. They want permission. And the Insurrection Act gives it to them if the rest of us don't know what to look for. If they invoke it, soldiers won't be fighting foreign enemies. They'll be policing Americans. And the moment you start calling democracy's defenders the insurrection, you've already rewritten history while it's still happening. Stay sharp, learn the playbook, because they're already rehearsing Act 1. Here's the part no one wants to say out loud. Every incident, every riot, every federal intervention lately, they're not isolated. They're data points on a straight line heading toward one thing, justification, because if you can convince the public that America's cities are war zones, then the only logical response is to send in the soldiers, which means, wait for it, which means you can suspend elections. This is where the train has been headed the entire time. Now all those Trump 2028 hats he gives out to people don't seem so strange, right? That $200 million ballroom he's building in the White House? Now don't get me wrong. Legally, the Constitution doesn't allow him to suspend elections. But if he spends the next 3 years normalizing putting troops in our cities and making every broken window an emergency, he's betting that we are going to be so shell-shocked we just roll over and bite the pillow. Remember when he joked with Zelensky about getting to suspend elections during a war? We all know by now that nothing he says on camera is an accident, right? Gavin Newsom was right when he said this.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election.
Again.
Who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves?
And that's the beauty of it. You don't need a real insurrection. You just need the appearance of one. A few staged raids, a few anonymous tips, a few strategic fires. See? All you had to do was say the quiet part louder. It's one signature away. That's all it takes. One pen stroke and the Posse Comitatus Act, the law that keeps the military out of civilian life, evaporates like smoke. Suddenly the headlines write themselves. They won't call it martial law. They'll call it temporary stabilization. They always do. Listen, when people in power start fantasizing about using the military on their own citizens, it's not about safety. It's about control. They want a nation scared enough to accept soldiers in the streets, cameras on the corners, and silence in the air. And the scariest part, they don't need to win a war to pull it off. They just need us to stop paying attention. They want you angry. They want you reckless. They want one broken window to justify 1,000 boots on the ground. Don't give it to them. Peaceful protest terrifies them because it's discipline they can't control. It's courage without chaos. It's unity without the headline they're begging for. They want a riot. Give them a movement. Keep filming. Keep marching. Keep showing up. Every camera, every chant, every calm face in the crowd, it's a shield against the lie they're building. Because the truth is they can't declare war on a peaceful people without showing the world who they really are. Stay loud, stay peaceful, stay together. That's how we win. Not by fighting their fight, but by refusing to become what they need us to be. They want fear, we bring courage. They want chaos, we bring community. They want silence, and they're not getting it. Say it with me, one time. They're not getting it. So here's the bottom line, friends. They can't gaslight an entire country forever. Not while we're still watching, not while we're still marching. And definitely not while a 5-foot chipmunk with a microphone is out here calling them on their bullshit. This is the moment we choose who we are, scared spectators or loud damn participants. History doesn't belong to the strong men. It belongs to the stubborn. So do me a favor, stay loud, stay peaceful, and stay tuned. Maybe buy a chipmunk a cup of coffee already, would you? It's tough out here. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and share this before somebody decides the truth needs a curfew. We're building this channel one brave voice at a time, and right now yours is the next one we need. You ever notice how Stephen Miller always looks like he just lost an argument with his own reflection? Like, buddy, you're not the main character. You're the trailer that made everyone skip the movie. Talk about a Dollar Tree fascist. Don't let the people who can't spell Constitution start interpreting it. See you next time, unless the National Guard confiscates my Wi-Fi first. Oh, and thanks to TYT Sports, Oregon Public Broadcasting, and few others for some footage. Links in the description.